America? It's your boy, Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. So, it was warm this past weekend. And, the weather's getting warm. It was nice outside. So, even though we're going to brace for a temporary cool down for now, you know, especially here in Madison. But, obviously, when it was warm over in Chicago, it was like near 70 degrees outside. The warmest day ever since October. Guess what? Over in Chicago, mofos like to shoot each other up left and right, as usual. You know, you had a mass shooting at a baby shower. At a fucking baby shower? Really? And then you had, various other shootings all across the city, especially another shooting at a gender reveal party. And of course, Chicago just elected a progressive candidate for mayor not too long ago. I wonder what she's going to do about the gun violence in Chicago. Obviously, there's no guarantees because, if you don't know already, Chicago has been nothing more than a Democratic hellhole for damn near a century. And I'm gonna say this right here. Chicago as a city, I'm gonna say this right here. I think it's time to stop all this pray for our city this and pray for our city that. Because literally, the truth is, even I, as a born-again Christian, will say this verbatim. You know, for pray, there's some work that has to be done when it comes to prayer. When it comes to solving a situation like this. Even Christ himself made that claim too. Because think about it, some things only come by fasting and prayer. Now, I'm not trying to be religious on this video, but I'm gonna say this. It's funny how every time when it gets warm outside, only in Chicago, and pretty much any of these hellhole inner cities, for that matter. Obviously, you got to deal with. There's going to be a rise in crime and a rise in violence, and you know where else. But I love it how people like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan, Black Lives Matter, and some of these other groups that like to come out of the woodwork only when a cop kills a black person. But here's the killer. All that crime that was going on this past weekend, I can bet you my life, they were all black on black violence. The truth be told is this, America. I think I've been overly fed up with the liberal bias, because I'll tell you this, mainstream media would never tell us the truth. They're not telling us the truth about the Chicago shootings. You won't hear that on Chlamydia News Network. You won't hear that on MSHIV, LGBT, QIA, LMNOP, whatever the hell. And let's just say this. And I love it. I love it how people on the left, when it comes to when it comes to when it comes to mass shootings, they won't even talk about all the shootings that goes on in our nation's in our nation's inner cities. Where crime is up the wazoo every single day. I mean, and they be the first to like talk about we need to get rid of guns this and we need to get rid of guns that. But I'm gonna say this: what about the law-abiding citizens in these you know crime-ridden areas? They are obviously defenseless, apparently, and the last resort they would have to do is either one, be stuck in the area, or two, literally just move out the area for good. I mean, and let's just say this on the topic of gun control. Yeah, I love it when they talk about gun control, for the nation's inner cities, but at the same time, they be the one that, you know, guess who, guess who is vulnerable to that? People who are law-abiding citizens, not the criminals, not these gangbangers that you see on the streets. Not the, I mean, straight up. Yeah, I'm waiting for all the, and Father Flakers, screw you, you freaking snowflake. you, you are literally a joke to, pretty much all the stuff that's going, all, all the stuff that goes on in Chicago. You like to preach about all the violence. I mean, you, you are a complete joke. You are a complete buffoon. And yeah, so obviously, since it's warm out, we're we obviously expected that there was going to be some good, some shooters that was going to go